There's a quote that I saw that said, as a way of reducing anxiety, instead of just doing things, you can change the narrative in terms of, I applied mousse today. You can change the narrative in terms of how you view that thing that you do, and instead of just doing it, do it for fun. So you do a particular job for fun. You do a particular activity for fun, such as my vlogging, purely a fun activity, as a way of reducing the anxiety that you tie to, I'd say, the expectation of that particular thing and the role it plays in your life. Ooh, I need to take a video of my view. It's beautiful. It is stunning. Part of me wants to do a lot of, tiny 3-second clips in between my usual vlogs, because there's this girl I found. I forget her YouTube channel. I'll find it and put it in the comments. But I really enjoyed the, I'd say, scenic panorama. I don't know what you call it, but those little clips. Her vlog started with her showing us a bit of her day, but just clips of the things she did, right? So at the mall, by the clothes section, and so I really like that. So I want to incorporate that in my videos, even for work, because wow. Just as I was speaking about it, I saw I'd say how the sunset looked like through my rearview mirror, so I took a video of it. I hope you guys like it. But good morning, happy Friday. Haven't worn my checkered jacket for work in a while. I've been wearing it for my casual meetups, and I was thinking the other day how I bought this fur coat, and I always wonder, if I wear it to work, would it be too much? It's not like hectically Cruella de Vil furry, but it's like an even black fur, but it will call attention to itself in a sense. So I usually feel like it might just be too much. But welcome to my YouTube channel. The name is Gorata.Selaledi, mother of one, boy mom, I don't know where that came from, but mother of one. Cute little bangojana. Cute little boy called Maru. So the other day, me and my husband had a conversation, right? So I'm telling him about the significance of clouds in the Bible, and I tell him, hey, this was also one of the reasons why I leaned to calling and naming my son Maru. He was flabbergasted because truth be told, the only reason I wanted to call my son Maru is because clouds just make me tear up. It's just, they're just a wonder, you know? So it was just the thing of, my son is a wonder. But anyways, in telling him about the significance of clouds in the Bible, I was telling him about how clouds always signified the presence of God. And truly, I think us having our son, our miracle baby boy, is a constant reminder and representation that God is with us, you know. It's giving Emmanuel, but just a reminder that God is with us continually. You know, my ring broke the other day, and I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, oh my God, if I was superstitious, what would I tie my ring breaking just before July 2, you know? And I was like, I'm really not that superstitious. I'm gonna change hands. So today I did something with my fragrances. I layered her confession, I layered Victoria, by Latafa, and I layered Supremacy. I don't know if the combo works, but I'm carrying a bit of my husband's scent with me today. I actually want to take a clip of the traffic. We're figuring it out, right? I have this running joke when it comes to fuel and my fuel situation. How I'll call my husband and say, I only have 100 kilometers left on my fuel tank. Will I make it home? And then he always jokes and says, well, if home is in Lobate, you will definitely not make it. Well, he says you'll definitely make it, but the running joke is you usually just have too much. You have enough to get home, not too much. But yeah, what was I thinking about? There's something I was thinking about when I was when I was doing my 3-second shots. Yes, I was thinking how I can actually use the 3-second clips for my intro video, because usually it's just me. But yeah, day 2 with my lashes, and the experience is good, I will be honest. I think 10 out of 10 in terms of the overall experience of having these lashes on me. And I would highly recommend this girl. Her company is called The Glow Spot. Please check it out. She's based by Main Mall, right opposite Shell, in the Meizu building. Right, you'll see a building on your right after you turn left. After you turn left from the traffic lights, after the ombudsman. Yeah. But anyways, good morning and happy Friday. Today I have morning client engagement, but not breakfast. But yeah, I'm gonna be going to see one of my customers this morning, just as a courtesy visit. Just as a courtesy visit, given that I think we had met with their boss for breakfast, and they hadn't been able to make it. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, but they weren't able to make it. So Jason does AC. Yeah, but anyways, they weren't able to make it, so we're gonna go see them. Yeah. And in thinking about my broken ring, I'm going to probably take it to get it fixed. And the thought I was having this morning is like, when it happened, I was like, yes, I can get a new ring for our 4th year anniversary. That was my immediate thought. But then we're learning that when things are broken, you can just fix it, right? You can just fix it and not necessarily throw everything out. But welcome to my vlog. I'm just gonna swipe my screen. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think it's the lighting being blocked by it's the light being blocked by my overhead sun blocker. But how are you? If you have been following my vlogs, just check it in the comments. How have you been? How is the month of June for you? I am going to be running my series still, day by TikTok, and I'm really thinking about a way to just make it feel conversational, right? I love the fake mug situation, and given that for me, my thing has been my Christmas tree just being there, I might lean into that and work out a frame that makes me feel like an authority. And I think you usually see on TikTok, like, there's different marketing positions that you can use that will make your videos feel a certain way, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna try the mug and the mic, and sitting a bit further back, not further back, but yeah. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, it's Friday. Yesterday was a fake Monday, and I wasn't able to upload my video, but I managed to edit it. Yeah, I only managed to edit it this morning, I'll be honest. Yeah, but I managed to edit it, so I will upload it today and upload today's one as well. I want to do a clip of the traffic behind me so that you can see how it looks. Today we're doing something different. But yeah, we'll get into our prompt just now. So I managed. Yeah, so today's prompt is becoming someone you are proud of. Becoming someone you are proud of. And in thinking about it, our opening thought is how timelines, right? So timelines, and let me explain how when I was 18, crazy. When I was 18 and in senior school, I had this idea of how my life needs to play out. Like, I had it all, I didn't have it all figured out. I never felt that way, but I had an idea and a clue in terms of when I kneel down and pray, this is what I'm praying for, and. So at 18, I created a bucket list. I had this belief that by 25, I would be married, or I'd be preparing to get married, so engaged to marry, would get married for like 3 years, and then 28, 30, 32, 35. I wanted to have 7 kids. So I think timeline wise, was it 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. But the timeline, no, I'm wrong. But I think the timeline was tied to me getting married at 25. But it made sense. I think I had a 2-year difference in between my kids. I wanted to have 7 kids. I think I said this the other day. And people were shocked. Shocked at the fact that I said that, and I think for me it's just the thing of, yes, I did. That was that was something that I wanted to be part of my reality at a certain point. And I think in becoming, I think as you realize certain things and a lot of things, you get to a place where you realize, no, 7 is not possible. But anyways, let's go back. Timelines, right? So in thinking about becoming someone you're proud of, I was thinking about this morning, referencing a LinkedIn post that I saw someone do, where she kind of gave out a timeline of her educational journey, right? In terms of how she wanted things to play out versus how things played out, right? And I like the fact that in the timeline, she also added married the love of my life in there as well. Of which I feel, for me, when I was thinking about my perfect life, it was obviously layered with I'd say the typical rites of passage in terms of what we were taught to lean into in terms of how your life is supposed to play out. Rites of passage, that's what we were taught in primary school, right? You're born, you become a child, you become a teenager, you get, right, as a young girl, you start your cycle. What else? Yeah, you get married. I like how the rites of passage don't have you go to university, get a job. You get married, you have children, and then you die. Right? So I think in thinking about timelines, that's how we usually lay out our lives, and that's how I laid out my life. And in thinking about, for me, right, in thinking about I had to just press into that, right, because not everyone has the same beliefs. Yeah, so in thinking about it then, now I think Gorata at 18 would not be proud of me, in terms of how much I managed to do before 25, and then also finding, I would say, someone that I loved at 25, and then after 3 good years, letting go of the relationship, because I decided that I can't have this relationship proceed. It's not good for my future. You know, that kind of thing. It's not aligned. Yeah, so Gorata at 18 would be like, what? You did what? You did what, my girl? But anyways, I think that would be, I'd say, the reference point to kind of then say, am I proud of myself, or are you proud of how far you've come in terms of what you've accomplished, especially after turning 30, right? 30s, your 30s basically. I usually sense this in videos. I don't think I sense it. I think it's just the fact that I have been, I wouldn't say conditioned. Yeah, I have been conditioned, I guess, to think about life a certain way in terms of when things need to get done, right? So I usually feel the sadness when I see someone crossing over 30, and I'd say they haven't, yet figured out the relationship part, the settling down part, and they're just by themselves. I get a bit sad actually, because I'm like, oh, it's not fair. She needs to find her person and settle down. But then that's me with that timeline, right? That conditioning that I shared, to say at these checkpoints, it's like a marathon. At these checkpoints, these things need to happen, and if they don't happen, it's an incomplete life, right? So quite unfortunate to think that way. But I think now, having had crossed over 30 myself, married with a baby. I got married at 28, and I had my first child at 31, right? And I think in terms of how quickly everything turned around, remember I said that I had a relationship that I had to dismantle because it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out truly. So dismantled that relationship, and funny how it happened at 28, and it's just the thing of, yeah, it happened at 28, and it's just the thing of 28, 27. How long was I single? I think we broke up when that little baga, 27, somewhere there. But anyways, got married, and in thinking about the timeline, because it's been 6 years since I let go of that relationship, I'm actually remembering now to say, I wasn't actually single for a long time. I wasn't single for a long time. I think I broke up with him that December. I started for my CFA, and then April that year, I kind of moved on with my now husband in terms of us dating and becoming a unit. Yeah, so I actually I wasn't single for too long. And I think as I said, I can actually tie it back to the fact that I was working on a very strict schedule, but obviously not settling, right? Because I realized that all my boyfriends were all my type, and my now husband is, I'd say, my perfect match. But yeah, so that's the chat, I guess, in terms of timelines. Maybe you can share in the comments how, I'd say, your perception of timelines has been, right? Has it been a thing of, I need to get this particular thing? Is it maybe a degree, the ring, whatever it is for you, get that particular thing before a certain age? Or are you just okay? Are you just nonchalant about this timeline thing? You're working on a different timeline, a heavenly timeline, maybe even better. Because I think even going back to I'd say trusting God to work things out. I was definitely, but I think even communication wise to him, I was kind of communicating to this man that, hey, Lord of hosts, this is what I want. And it kind of worked out. It worked out. Let me not say it kind of worked out. It worked out. It worked out the way I imagined, the way I envisioned, right? So yeah. So in thinking about, like, I'm about to get to work. I was gonna say the vernacular. You say like yeah. So in thinking about becoming someone you're proud of, another thing that came top of mind when I saw the title, when I saw the prompt, is I think the word of 2020, the word of 2026 is language, right? Or the words that you use, right? So I was thinking about it from the perspective of communication, how you relate with people, and the words that you use concerning them, whether they're there, whether they're not, even in your mind, right? I sometimes feel guilty of thinking about someone a particular way, and then something in their life shifts, and I'm like, oh my God, because I thought about them that way, I shifted the energy of their lives. I feel like thoughts and words are that powerful in the spirit, right? So I usually kind of think about that to say that there has to be a little bit of spiritual hygiene when it comes to the words that we use, the words that you say to people, the words that you think about people, the words that you say about people in their presence, in their absence. And I think in terms of just spiritual hygiene, gossiping and talking about people break something in the spirit, I feel, in terms of the relationship that you have with them, and then also even just their timeline. I'll use that word differently, but it affects, I feel it affects their lives in a very, I wouldn't even say a different way. I need to go refuel. So we might have to take a pause, take a beat, but I will definitely do those 3-second clips. But yeah, let's take a beat. You think about spiritual hygiene and think about how your mouth is dirtying, I'd say, your spiritual timeline, and let me know in the comments. I'm about to get to the filling station, so I guess I'll pause when I get there. But yeah, I was my mind was ahead of my reality in that sense. But anyways, in thinking about it, to then say becoming someone you're proud of, for me personally, I'd want to be someone I'm proud of in how I speak to people and how I relate to people, in the energy and tone of the words that I choose to use when I speak about them, when I speak to them, when I think about them. I think it's very special even now, in terms of the thoughts that you have concerning someone, right? Imagine Jeremiah 29 says that God has thoughts concerning us. I just arrived. Oh, I'm going to take a little clip of the filling station. Something I was thinking about though when I was refueling is gone. I can't remember. Wait, let me get out of this space. Yes, I was thinking about how I still made it to the general vicinity of work. Paid partnership, I shall. Somebody tap it in. Lock it in. I was gonna remove the yeah, anyways, I'll was focused on the road. I was focused on joining this road. But anyways, what I wanted to say is, what do you call it? Here's to a paid partnership with Shell. Shell Botswana, free fuel somebody. But today, I mean, my fuel wasn't empty. I was about to say that 250 got me 200 kilometers, but it didn't. So I take it back. But look at the sun. It's actually a lot today. But anyways, I managed to get to the general vicinity of where I work by 7:30. The time is 7:35 now, so I will get to work and be able to settle down. The sun is doing the most. But be able to settle down. The plan today is to read my book. I guess I'll have 20 minutes to myself. So read my book, have a bit of coffee, and then also think about the month of July in terms of my planning for my client visits but yeah, otherwise I just arrived at work and I don't think we finished our chat. So I might actually continue it on my way to the client. No, I can't, because I am going to be picking up my colleague, so it is not possible. It's not possible for me to do that. But anyways, in becoming someone you're proud of, watch your words. We are parking. If you're new here, you know that this girlie requires ultimate silence when she is parking. She's doing well. She's doing it. I'm hoping that whoever comes and parks doesn't get too close to the line, because yeah. Anyways, watching your words. And what's the first one? Not being a slave, not enslaving yourself to the timeline, but really doing your best to kind of lean into, I'd say, the vision of it, right? Because I think there'll be twists and turns in terms of how everything plays out, and even if it doesn't work out at the time that I'd say was stipulated in your plan, it's okay. Trust the God of your ultimate timeline, who holds the blueprint. Guys, my car is dirty and I'll be having people in the car today, so just trying to manage that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna wear these gloves and just be a bougie girl, but I won't be able to scan up the door. But it's okay. It is okay because it's cold. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow's book club. Yes. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my book club vlog. I pray for God's favor to locate you and for His grace to sustain you as you live out this beautiful day. Let's see if it'll work. Nope, it's not working.